last week's, if you guys have followed me, we went through a very dense time, I would say around October leading into November. Today is November 11th, and it's also Remembrance Day for us here in Canada. And I feel like there's a lot of intrinsic things at least happening for myself. But I truly can feel it. I don't know if you guys can too. But this turnover is tremendous. And I feel like God is paving this way for us. And how it's happening is with a level... no, I don't want to say that. We're not jumping timelines. We're not doing any of that. What I think is truly happening is that we're leveling out, or we're finding the balance between the dualities. I really feel like we are finally at a place where both dualities are leveled out. And I'm using this because I can only speak for myself and what I see with my own eyeballs out in this world. And as this portal opens, and we've been going through this fantastic week of ours of changeover and such, certain players have come into play, and we know that this changeover is going to be a very advantageous one and abundant one. We can feel it in our core. I truly feel like for those of us out there that are starseeds, light workers, chosens, we feel the polarities now at a balance. And what this means for us is that everything that we have been pursuing, everything that we've been planting, and everything that we've been doing is going to rampantly come out to the forefront. So many lives are going to be overturned. So many people are going to fall. And also at the same time too, if in an individual situation, and this goes back to my personal feeling of what energetics I'm feeling as an individual or empath, is that a lot of us have come on to our journey at different times, different waves. So what this portal or this energy represents to you, or what stage you're at in your ascension journey, is different than mine. However, certain patterns arise, certain times arise, and that's why all of these things are cyclical. That's why time does afford us certain feelings or energetic waves. So for myself, 1111 is quite important because there was a portal of 1111 that started a karmic trial or lesson for myself years ago that I think is coming to a close to, at this time, or the next 72 hours. And I also feel like that my personal journey started at 1111 in 2022. And what I mean by this is that usually how your journey starts is with what we call a dark night of the soul. It's when everything shatters, everything falls away, things that you thought about your old life, your old world are no longer existent. And a lot of you are going through this right now. We can even see this on the news. Like, let's just be frank. How many Democrats are having some type of meltdown right now? I'm not even American, and the airwaves are going bonkers with people just freaking out because they don't know what to do with themselves anymore. They're like, uh-oh, the world I thought I knew and I understood is coming and crumbling down. And that's really what's happening. And I feel like this is a part of the ascension waves that are coming out. These persons needed to see this happen in order for certain things to fall away. So if you are in your dark night of the soul, please know, as your sister in arms in this world of unconditional love, it will get better. It will grow and teach you one of the best lessons, or give you one of the best gifts that God could ever give you. What I mean by this is, like, what you're perceiving as a blockage right now is really for you. And as you go through that dark night of the soul, which will be terrifying at times, really hard, just know that you're going to get through it. And the type of clarity you're going to receive is something that you can never have fall away and ever be taken away from you. Now, for some of you that have already gone through this dark night of the soul, mine started 2 years ago in 2022. At November 11 portal then. My world was crashing down around me. And maybe some of you are feeling me because maybe you've been on the journey this long too. And you remember your 1111 portal from last year or the year before, whenever it started for you. And I'm not saying all of you had to do it on a portal per se, but for myself, I don't know if my star chart always aligned with 1111 when these occurrences would come, going back to my whole idea about time and overturning and God having a symmetry and a rhyme and a reason to everything that he, she, the all does. In my personal life, 1111 was a huge changeover for me. And today it is also another changeover because the world is shifting again. And I can honestly see that at my personal time of need, or at my dark night of the soul, if you are going through it, I was pleading with God all the time. I had friends of mine, I had my ex, just fall away. I had all my friend group, and I mean hundreds of people fall away. And I also had my spiritual community coming at me in different waves. And it was so hard these last years for all of us, right? But there were times in our journey that we had to give everything up to God. We literally had to say, we're not going to come and take revenge. We're not going to avenge anything. And we have to know that we're going to transmute every single feeling and every single pain and turn that into unconditional love. That's what we were being asked by God to do. It is what we were told, shown, and we had to receive and reciprocate out to the world, because this was the first time maybe in your life that you were turned on enough to understand how this energy transfer occurs or how this alchemy is done. And as you're learning about alchemy, you realize that that is the best form of energetic exchange to occur. And as someone who's seeing this from, the peripheral, now in the sense of like in hindsight, I actually see that certain things that took place for me back 2 years ago, and also maybe closer to like 13 or 14 years ago, are now all coming to a head right now. And it's like to look at God's chronological way of doing things is somewhat of a beautiful mastery and a beautiful melody, because we are seeing this in all spheres of existence, and not just here in North America. Yes, in North America, the fall is falling, and in South Hemisphere, the sun is rising. So like I said, portals can be endings and beginnings. So some of you might be starting a journey on the 1111 portal. Some of you might be ending something. And I know that for myself 2 years ago, I was praying and pleading and asking for judgment on certain persons, places, and not mainly persons, because of what I was going through. I asked that my ex be delivered. I asked that my cousin and her husband, who did me so wrong at that time, they basically allowed my ex to like take my place. And these are people, my cousins, my family, and her husband I've known my whole life. And the way they just like put him into my world and just shoved me to the wayside, and hundreds of people stopped talking to me because of this whole shift. When I was coming onto my spiritual journey, I was getting a lot of haters. I was getting a lot of people that were saying I was fraudulent, that I wasn't who I say I am. I was having a lot of people put me to the test. I had a lot of people stealing my work. I had a lot of people copying me. It was getting out of hand, and I called judgment on all of these persons, because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take revenge. I'm just going to do me, and I bet you guys just did you, and you just kept trucking forward, trying to bring forth the word, bring forth the light that all of us need. We're all a part of this collective energetic field that we have to be a part of in the most righteous way we can. And realistically, God is now showing us and reaping for us all of that we need to receive in this time. And I truly feel like after this weekend, seeing how my cousin and her husband, who are what people would say maybe arch nemesis, let's say, but I never put them in that category, but the way they treated me was horrific. I just prayed that they would, and all of the parties I ever prayed for judgment to befall them, was always to say, like, please let them take a step and a mile in my shoes, and let them see me for who I really am. And when I did get in the same room, in the same space with these guys, I have not seen them for 4 years, and all of a sudden, here are two people that went through all of God's trials, all of life's challenges, things that I never heard them go through, all in this little while, and it brought them to a level of not just clarity, but equilibrium. My ex is at an equilibrium with me now, and has been for some time now. These people are at an equilibrium. I can finally breathe easy in my family unit now, because there's always been this animosity, and now it's been squashed. And as for the spiritual side, or those participants that I meet in the astral, and those that were kind of shunning me, or just saying I was non-deserving, I feel like the same type of judgment is going to befall them, because should their actions led to that resolve or result, unfortunately, what we did as light workers, like I said, we alchemized everything, and all we did was show unconditional love back, just as God had taught us to do. And if those did not vibrate at that unconditional love, they were gonna have their own towers, have their own dark night of the soul. Because in a sense, when you're asking judgment on persons, it's not because you don't love them, it's not, you just want an equal playing ground. And I truly feel like that's what's happening, not just in my personal life. I feel like it's happening on an energetic level, to all platitudes, to all platforms, to all ways of being. We are coming through with a vengeance. The playing field has been made equal. And with that said, our light is finally going to permeate and shine brighter than it ever has before. These blockades are out of our way. God is clearing a path. And realistically, what I think is going to happen for a lot of us is that we're going to take hold of those plans, those God-given plans or dreams that we all want to pursue or have been pursuing or started to pursue. Now we've got the ball rolling. Now we've got the inertia to make it happen. And most of us had these dreams and had these plans with God since we were young, since we were in our most closest I am state, which is the childlike state. Reason being is because you're most fearless when you're a child, you're most honest, you're most truthful, you are literally the epitome of what it means to be a light worker or of the I am presence in that state. Some would say, oh, but what do children know? Well, you know what? They sure know the soul better than we do. And as ascenders and as those on this path, or just starting, middle, during, whatever the case may be, all we're trying to do is come full circle with who that person is. Who are we? Who are we in total? Who are we to the collective? Knowing the I am inside and out is how we actually will change the world. Because the more we actually transmute all of this negativity and we transmute all of the persons in our lives and we give it back to God and we give it back to the all-encompassing unconditional love, that permeation is the strongest vibration that any world has ever seen. The Christo consciousness is to embody that exact emotion. So nothing can permeate past that. So you'll notice that even, let's say, darker-sided entities, darker-sided extraterrestrial entities, some of these sightings and things are all just going to kind of wash away. And I can honestly say, as someone who spends a lot of time in the astral, and I don't know if you guys are astral projectors or you only tap into the astral when you're dreaming, our dream time is getting pretty intense. I personally know that for myself, I connect with people all the time, same people, same persons, doing the same missions with the same 2 people, the same 5 people, and that means that our unitedness is getting more and more visible and more clarity is coming to us day by day by day. And I know for a fact that in this last week alone, I was on a mission to, take care of a very big character, okay? And I truly feel, I was like, oh my God, she's in books. And I was like, is this the person that we're taking care of here? And it was. And I was just like, holy crap. Well, a lot of us are realizing what our spiritual ranking is in this world. Because a lot of our stuff happens in the unconscious. Not just us permeating the message and the word outwardly in the 3rd dimensional sense of self, but on a quantum level or even on a dimensional level. And I also feel like a lot of them are just reflective existences, and also at the same time the astral. We are going through all these different forms and ways of being and doing the work there too, and it's trickling into the 3rd dimensional sense, because as we tap deeper and deeper into this sea of unconditional love, we are seeing more and more that everything is coming to pass. God is paving a way for us all. And I just wanted to say that because, oh my gosh, if I don't even watch the news. I don't even need to watch as much as most people like to watch. I see it. I don't even have to go very far and I see it. So because I'm talking about energy, because I'm talking about portals, because I'm talking about all this stuff, I am going to do the cards. Now, if you don't like the cards, jag on, you know what I'm saying? But if you do, and you want to see what the energy of the week is this week, I think we all know what it's going to be. But realistically, like, I'm watching all of this clarity come in just for myself and those around. I know that all the clients that I have that do my higher self readings, that are joined in my own collective, we're all on the same playing field. We're all on the same vibe. When we run into each other, our higher selves are actually giving us tidbits and knowledge, just like my higher self is giving you tidbits and knowledge right now. We're all giving each other messages, because in the astral, we're all connected. Our teams are all connected. Our spirit teams are all connected. We're all connecting. So we're always giving each other these tidbits, no matter what dimensional space we're rocking at the time. And I know I've been rocking it in the astral. It's been kind of cool, because it's like, I'm starting to see like what kind of a determination we have on that side too. And the people we're taking down are pretty severe characters. So all I'm saying is that I think they're pretty ancient. And at the same time, because of that, clarity is coming. Blossom in abundance, y'all. I think that's what's so key and so pivotal and so amazing. And please, if you are not someone who writes down your dreams, please start doing this, because it'll show you a lot of what's taking place in the energetic field that we're experiencing here in our 3D self. So, whoop, okay. Rest and rejuvenation. Whew. This is looking very temperate and very lovely. Door to personal healing and happiness. And I would say the blossoming abundance. Yeah, like we're seeing the end of this rainbow. It's illuminating. God is illuminating a way. It's amazing what's happening right now. Action. I'm going to go for a 5th. And there's a lot of green grass in all of this. I want just one. Ooh. Sorry, I don't like it when a bunch fly out. I'd rather Yeah, it's been really insane in a good way to feel everything that I'm feeling and feel everything. Ooh, appreciation. And again, it's like all of this garden growth and gardening seems to be in all of the permeations. We got blossoming abundance. We've got rest and rejuvenation. We've got door to personal healing. We've got action, and we've got appreciation. Yes, a lot of us are starting to feel appreciated for who we are, the I am that is within all of us. We're starting to be asked about. We're starting to see our collectives formulating. We're starting to see people reach out to us, come to us, because we're now holding the frequency high enough that people are actually gravitating towards us. And that even happens in the astral. It happens in a lot of different respects, because I personally feel like, for myself, I asked for 3 judgments, and now 2 out of the 3 are handled. And when the 3rd is out of my way, I feel like hopefully in the next 72 hours, that would be fantastic. Once the portal's closed, then it can all be done with. And then the blockages that at least I face personally will all be dealt with and neutralized. And that's the best way we can move forward in this awesome time of ours that we call our existence. So I'm going to do some return to spirit cards as clarifiers just to see. Ooh, wow. Funny. So blossoming abundance is starseed. And rest and rejuvenation is rejuvenation. How friggin' funny is that? And I know it's kind of, see, everything's just being so easily to navigate now. It's all getting easier. Now, if you are someone who's in a dark night of the soul right now, currently, like I see a lot of the feminists, liberalists, and Democrats, or those who are struggling out there with this overturn, at least in the United States and Canada and worldwide, we're starting to see, it's kind of like, you know, when a child doesn't get their way, they're like, well, I didn't want it. Door to personal happiness has to do with worthiness. Hello, the I am is triumphant. We're growing in our I am states every day, and I feel stronger and stronger myself, and I know all of us are. And I know that everyone I've touched has grown, and I know that everyone you've touched has grown. And it's like, if we asked ourselves this like 10 years ago, would we have been this epic? I think the answer would be a no. Because we are just epic creatures, just transforming the world. Action is mediumship. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get a vibe off of that mediumship because a lot of us are coming on right now. And I don't even just mean, we're all mediums for each other, technically. Because I know that I get a lot of glimpses into who I am from, you know, receiving messages from the universe, receiving messages from my day-to-day, receiving messages from, you know, other persons like yourselves. And I find that it helps me on my journey. That's the thing. It's like we're all becoming mediums in our own right, providing those messages for each other. It's kind of like, you know, when in the war, we all used to use, like, what was it, Morse code to communicate. It's kind of like that. It's like we're all sending each other these messages through the airwaves, and it's helping us as individuals, because I know that we are not a force of one. We are a force of many, and it is from that connection that we actually, you know, we are changing the energetic weavings of this existence. This time and this timeline and this chance at ascension is not something that happens very often. I don't know the last time we were given the ability to ascend. Maybe during, let's say, Atlantis perhaps. And even then, Atlantis went down, because at the same time, we have to understand ascension is not the easiest process, because a lot of things have to change. Like, we're going through a world that's going through cataclysms. We're going, appreciation is simplicity. Now that came out twice, so I'm gonna take it for sure. And immunity, beautiful. The bottom of the deck, immunity meaning like we're immune to all of this that is changing. We're actually evolving with the wave right now. Is a beautiful feeling. I hope you guys feel that way too. So blossoming abundance, and we got starseed. Now, I know that for the most part, a lot of us starseeds right now, we are illuminating even in a DNA activation way, put it that way, because a lot of us, and this is why I think mediumship comes up too, because we're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And if you look at rest and rejuvenation, you even see this guy is creating or co-creating as he meditates. So I feel like this time that we're given this equilibrium energy to flow in currently is giving us this time to rest and rejuvenate. Why? Because, like I said, for my particular scenario, I had 3 judgments or 3 persons or 3 scenarios that were really shaking my core as to how I could perform or move forward in my life, because we all need solidity. We all need clarification. We all need to solidify things for ourselves. So I feel like this is the time that all the, you know, chips have fallen, everything, just like the leaves have fallen, and we see where everyone is in the standstill stand. And I feel like because we have these blockades coming out of our way, we're able to rest and rejuvenate, because there is no more war coming at us. There is no more attacks coming at us presently. I don't know if that's forever, but I feel like a lot of us have gone over these hills. Like for myself, it was my ex, it was my family, and it was my spirit. Those were the three judgments I called. And I feel like the last is my spirit. And if those blockades come out of my way, that way, I know that I'll be a fully rejuvenated person. And when it says rejuvenation, that's how dead on it is. We are rejuvenating. We have been on this journey for time, and we have been working steadily and hard. And God, I feel like, is rewarding us with this time to just relax. Not relax from the work, not relax from the job. We're always on God's plan. So that is, but it's finally a time of breathe easy, guys, you know? Because right around the bend is this door to personal healing and happiness. I think a lot of us have been on this healing journey for time, and we're finally getting to a place where we feel like we understand what's going on. We feel worthy. We feel worthy of getting what we want, desire in our lives. And that's why I feel like that plan that we've all worked out with God, we planned this when we were children. We are all worthy of going after this Eden, this plentiful place in our minds, in our hearts, in our dream state. And really, it's because we have taken action. A lot of us have taken action, but if you notice, there's a black and white horse. This action is exactly what I'm saying. The polarities are balanced. They are both actively working on a level playing field. That is what I feel. I should call this video the level playing field. And I feel it's because the polarities have been balanced. And with that being balanced, that gives us a huge highway to actually go after the things we want. And that's why I think mediumship comes in, because a lot of us are becoming our own messengers for each other. We're communicating. We are actually tapping into our gifts, our God-given gifts. If people think that mediumship, it's not just for clarity, it's for connection. It's for feeling or being more empathic. It's all the senses that can come into play. It could be our third eye chakra. Like when I see this, I see purple. I see sovereignty. And that could be with your crown even. But I feel like with the eyes, or it could be your spiritual ears, whatever the case may be coming on right now. It's an added bonus to your existence. And it's finally because we are being appreciated for who and what we are. Finally, we have fought and fought and fought for the I am stage. We have fought and fought and fought to be who we are. And we're finally getting appreciated. We're finally finding our groupings. We're resonating so profoundly that there are those who are vibing on our vibe, and they are kind of like shimmying over to us right now. And it's all because of simplicity. Because simply, there is no more bullshit. There is no more crap that we're going to have to weed through all the time. It has gone back to its simplistic nature, which is unconditional love. You leave it at that, it's easy. You follow that, it's easy. You do what Christ did, it's easy. Because everything will come in alignment as an energetic field. If we are all simplistically vibing at that frequency of emotion, of unconditional love, everything will be ours for the taking. And I don't mean to be greedy. I mean for us to make our Eden here. And I feel like everybody's Eden is different, but I know that God has a plan for us all. And I'm glad that you guys join me in my mission, my plan, which is God's plan. Have a good night, guys. Love you lots. Catch you next time.